So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great pleasure and privilege to be here every week with Dana Hunter and Gary Knapp. We've been doing this for many years, and we do it because we love it. We love being here with you, and as use Dana's words, extending ourselves and assisting our community to be the best they can be. Today, we're very privileged to have James and Naomi. They always say yes, and I'm very grateful for that. I'll just give you a little bit about their background. I can scanning and I can see some new people joining us, so not everybody will have had the opportunity to have met them previously. Now, James likes to say that he is the story that no teacher wants to tell their students about. He went from getting the lowest grade in his high school year to becoming a national sales manager of the small public company. His passion for understanding the sales process and what makes a person say yes to buying a the product fueled his success because he could never understand why people would say no. If they did, he knew he had made a mistake and the mistakes could be fixed. James said no to building a Manatech business 3 times, but then one day his mentor, Rod Gilchrist, helped him see what was possible. Although James wasn't an overnight success, he was able to build a large international business. Starting over 21 years ago, his passion for Manatech is more today than it ever has been. His dream is to help all Manatechers achieve their dream, and that's one of the reasons he says yes all the time for us. Now, Naomi is one of his partners in crime, and she started building her business with Manatech 8 years ago. Her background was in teaching, and she also had a traditional retail business. Naomi is a mom to 3 beautiful teenage children who are her big reason why she is building this business. Naomi went from struggling to make ends meet and going further into debt to an international business traveling the world. The products have changed her life too. One of her favorite things to do is to travel to new destinations, experience the cultures there. She's a multi-award winner like James and one of Manatech's top business success coaches. So ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking everything marketing Manatech, including Facebook, including opening the door, some formulas for sharing your own personal testimony, because as a community, we need to get that right and professional. So I'll just go off camera. I'll be here, and I'm going to take notes. Thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you. What I might do, Naomi, is we'll just start off with what Sharon's asked, and then we'll move into the Facebook stuff. Is that okay? We didn't get a chance to talk about that just before the webinar, so I have to apologize. I'm down here in Bateman's Bay, everybody. It is beautiful. I've got a large meeting about to happen in just over an hour. So that's going to be fun. All talking about Impact Plus and True Health. So that's going to be a ball. So there's some massive things. I think they've got 75 people coming. So that's pretty cool. Manatech is on the move, folks. It is on the move big time. So let's do this thing. So let's talk about sharing your story, because here's the thing. If you get your story right, doors will open up. If you get your testimony right, doors open up. If you learn how to embrace people's wants, needs, and desires in your story, doors will open up. Now, think about this for a moment. One of the things that Naomi and I are passionate about is helping people share their brand, okay? Or it's called Story Brand. And if you're looking for an incredible book to read, definitely read Story Brand. And what you will learn, and what we've learned over the years, is that the better you can tell a story, the better you'll be. Now, I want to do a massive shout out to my upline, man that got me started. Well, she didn't sign me up. My ex-stepfather-in-law, something like that, got me signed up. But the man that mentored me, the man that showed me what to do, is Rod Gilchrist, and I am forever blessed. And let me tell you, if you're looking for an incredible storyteller, it's him. There is no one better. He is incredible, and I love him and will always be thankful for him. And he's always impacted my life. I'm so thankful for him. And one of the things that I would see Rod do all the time, I try. Why? How does he do this? How does he sign up the whole room? How does he walk away with like 1,000 sign-ups? And I'm not lying. That's what he would do. And it was because he learned how to tell a story. But what happens many times is people, when they tell their story, they don't put the effort into learning how to tell their story. They don't do the effort of learning how to be attractive in their storytelling. Now, this does not mean you need to have and look glamorous and perfect. Here I am today. I need a haircut, but my hairdresser went on holiday, didn't tell me. Unfortunate. I can't believe it. You're seeing all my wrinkles, all of this sort of stuff. But you know what? I'm doing my best in telling a story. You know, you look at Naomi, she looks glamorous. You look at Sharon, she's amazing. You know, beautiful women, but love telling, they're great at telling a story. Now, how do you tell a story that's captivating? How do you tell your testimony that is done in a professional way that people will go, wow, yeah, I want to know more? Well, it's all about the story. And the way you tell the story will either invite people in to go on that journey with you, or they'll run a million miles. So you get to choose the outcome of the story that you want to tell. And so we have a very, very simple methodology around telling a story. And the story goes: dream, struggle, victory. Write those three things down. Wow, all these people are starting to arrive for this meeting. I'm getting nervous. Dream, struggle, victory. Now, when you think about this, you tell your dream. You know, Sharon's got a great testimony. Dream, struggle, and it's like, I always wanted to be able to have my own business, but share with people and encourage people and help people. However, I got Lyme's disease, and that took so much of my energy, it took so much of my focus, it took so much of my health. And then I found Nanotech. I found the products. I found people that loved me, supported me, and cared for me in an environment I could be a part of. And since getting started on these products, I feel like I've got a new lease on life. I feel like I can do so much more. Okay? Yes, sorry, Naomi just sent me a little message. No disease name, so you've got to figure out what the symptoms. Thank you, Naomi. See, this is why we're good partners, right? Partners in crime. I'm like the bull in a china shop. I break all the dishes. Naomi makes sure the dishes are all perfectly. In fact, we'll put them in a better position than they were in the first place. Okay, and so dream, struggle, victory. The dream of what you want, the struggle you go through, and then the victory you've had. But do you want to know a better way of telling the dream, the struggle, the victory? Your testimony is everything, but so is other people's testimonies. But the way you tell it is you want others to come in on the story with you. If you don't allow people to come in on the story, they can't see themselves in your story, and so they won't become a part of it. Now, everyone wants the $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 a month, but not many are prepared to put in the time, the effort, and the energy to find out how. But you know, you don't have to learn everything, you just learn one thing. And if you can learn the story, if you can learn how to tell your story, people are going to say yes, but you have to learn how to tell your story. And that may take a day or two or three of just writing it out and then practicing it in front of the mirror. I promise you, I have practiced it in front of the mirror. And then I came down with my own simple formula of using dream, struggle, victory. So let me share with you one of my scripts that I came up, which is all about the story. And it goes like this. You know, have you ever wanted to lose weight? And I'll say, yes. I said, well, a lot of people want to lose weight, but the problem is, okay, the dreams, I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? Oh, I want to feel better. I want to look good in the mirror. I want to look good in clothes. Okay, cool. Well, one of the problems is, so this is a struggle, is that people, when they lose weight, they lose up to 4 times more, up to 4 times more fat than muscle. Sorry, or more muscle than fat. So what that means, if they go to lose, 3 times, if they lose 10 kilos, they lose 7.5 kilos of muscle. Now your muscle is directly linked to your metabolism. Did you know that? And they'll say no. And they'll say, well, yeah, so guess what happens? Now I invite them in on the story. Guess what happens when you lose all of that muscle mass? And they say, oh, I guess my metabolism slows down. And I say, yeah, that's right. So we developed a product that makes the body burn 3 times, so here's the victory, more fat than muscle. So if there was some information I could get to you, would you at least check it out? They say yes. There's the dream, the struggle, and the victory, the way of telling a story and telling, or in a script that actually works. I use that every day. But you know what? You can use the same analogy, the same script on business. You can use the same script on energy. Did you know that when a person drinks caffeine, it vacillates their cells, and so what happens? It's actually an adrenal dump. It's not energy. and so people have a false sense they have the highs and the lows. Did you know that if we've developed a product that actually uses your body's calories, increases oxygen, and uses vitamins and minerals to give you more energy. So it's not giving you a bad adrenal dump, and it's keeping you healthy. If there was some information you would check that you may be interested in, would you check it out? They say yes. You see, we keep our story simple, and the results come through. Does that help, Sharon? Is that kind of the direction you are kind of hoping for on that one?
Yeah, perfect. And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught into our story and forget our listeners. And I think the most important thing is to be succinct and follow that formula and practice.
That is it. You know, so guys, I just gave you 3 or 4 stories plus a whole preamble in 6 minutes. All right. My story didn't go for 10. It wasn't each one, and it wasn't all about me, and it wasn't all done. And it was like, it was involving them in the story. I've done this in a cafe with bunches of people. It's generally women in cafes. So I'll lean over to, and Naomi's seen me do this a few times. I'll lean over to the cafe, to the table next to us, and say, "Hey, do you mind if I ask you a question?" And they'll say, "Sure." And Naomi, how many times have you seen me do this, Naomi?
A lot.
Because I do it to show my team that you can do it with the cold market. They all give me their number. Kind of a bit scary. They all give, but that's just me having fun, by the way. But I do it with blokes. I do it with women. It doesn't matter. People want to be involved in the story, and the better you are at telling the story, big smile, the more they want to be a part of it, and we can have some fun. So let's move on, because I want you guys to hear. We want to move into sharing what's working for us as well. Now that's working. I've just told you I've got a meeting of about between 50 to 75 people about to happen. Naomi, let me introduce this lady for you. Naomi, as Sharon just said, is a world traveler, top awardee. But, she's one of the best, if not the best, Facebook marketer in nanotech, and I believe in network marketing I've ever seen. Now, why do I say in network marketing? Well, because her stuff is real, okay? And it's been tried, tested, and proven with a business model and a business that went through some pretty tough times. We would all know that. And she used these strategies to actually build her business, continues to build her business, to grow massive. And this last month alone has helped people go to executive level in the space of 8 to 12 weeks. Okay, and we've not just done that in one area, we've done that in 2, 3 different teams so far because of the strategies you're about to hear. This works, so guys, make sure you've got a notepad and pen, and a big shout out to all of the team that have just done this. I'm so proud of you, but I don't want to take away from Naomi. So Naomi, why don't you take over from here? I'll be right here as well.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's great to be on this morning. Sharon, I was just wondering if I could share my screen. I've got a PowerPoint.
Certainly. I'll just fix that for you now. There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so guys, we always want to come back to, it's always about the dreams in your heart. No matter what we say, you could go to all of the training, but if you don't connect to those dreams, if you don't really know what your purpose is, know what you're here for, know, those dreams, because they're going to propel you forward, to push you out of your comfort zone. And some things, they're going to feel uncomfortable. Talking, when James reaches over and talks to people, like, for me, that makes me feel really uncomfortable. Not him doing it, but me doing things like that. Actually,
no, let's be real. Yeah, let's be real. She gets uncomfortable, folks. She does.
For me, that is not a comfortable thing. But also some of the things that I'm going to talk about today, are not always comfortable, but it's about pushing those little barriers connecting into your dreams and knowing what you're here for and knowing why you're building your business. And you can really do anything if you're really connected to that. And I'll tell you a few stories a little bit later about some people that have done that just the last month or two, that have really stepped out and pushed out of their comfort zone. So, like we were talking about before, it's always about the online and the offline working together. They work so well together if you can kind of get them right. And people think, oh, I only build online. Well, that's not true. I'm actually going to go and do a presentation today. I'm always offline doing things. But I really, and James the same, we connect the online and offline so they work really well together. And, that's what this is all about. It's what you do offline, connecting with people. So you make those contacts offline, you bring them online to keep in contact so you can start to build relationships with them. And then if you're meeting people online, then it's also about getting them offline. So getting on a call, meeting up at a coffee shop and connecting with them offline as well. So, you're constantly bringing off, on, and working them together. And then that's why, it's so important to make sure your online presence is also reflecting of, the brand that you're wanting to portray. It presents as someone who's a business owner, because you are a business owner, and you're into health and wellness. That's what we do. So making sure that our online presence connects, the same as well as what we do offline. So just going through, I'll just do this quite quickly because I want to really highlight a couple that you can pull out and start working on right now, which you might not, be doing. Some of you may, and I know some actually are, and that's awesome. I'm just going to get rid of some of this. That's better. So there's 7 real ways to build on Facebook. Some are obviously your personal profile. So you want to really make sure, like I said, that and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that is, representing a professional person, a business owner, someone who's in health and wellness. Live videos. So this is a massive thing, and I'm going to go into more details about your live videos and how you can really maximize and get some great results through live videos. Obviously your pages. Now, do you need to have a page? Not necessarily. I would definitely be building your personal profile out and working that, but, obviously you can build a page as well. Messenger. So Facebook actually at the moment is totally redoing Messenger. So when they do things like that, you can see what direction they're going to take in terms of, what they're wanting their users to use. And so the better we can get with Messenger, and we'll be going into, in the future, we've got some different programs on using Messenger as well. Groups. Now, this is something that, I personally use with our team. We've got groups of probably close to 100,000 people, but using groups is a really effective way to build a business. Facebook stories. Now, can anyone just put your hand up or raise your hand if you're using Facebook stories yet in your marketing? Anyone doing that? You can comment in the chat too. Some hands are going up. Yep, awesome. So you need chat. Yep, great, fantastic. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Facebook stories and why it's important to be using those and how to use them, because you can do a lot with Facebook stories. And then obviously also events. And I think it's Sharon, you're doing an online event, which is awesome. And obviously, there's things that you can do, online events and offline events. And, again, that online, offline working together is really powerful. James, you can jump in anytime. So let's have a look at your profile, because this is really, really important that you get your profile, you know, right, and make sure that you're representing who you want to represent, and also, you know, your profile's a little bit like inviting people in your home. So it is quite a personal place. I know some of people get concerned because they put up family photos and things like that. Now, you can do some posts just for certain people. So if you create a list, you can, you know, just send those family photos just to those people. But it's very, very important to be using your profile. Now, I went to a LinkedIn workshop. Oh, well, it wasn't, it was a little bit about LinkedIn, but she was actually the founder of LinkedIn Local. So she actually lives in Coffs Harbour, which is awesome. But I was talking to her afterwards, and she said that it's interesting that people are kind of not using LinkedIn as much, and they're actually moving to using Facebook for networking and connecting with other people, which I found really, really interesting. And, you know, she actually talks about how important it is also to make sure your personal profile is, you know, connected to who you're wanting to represent. And so think about that, guys, you know, because people are checking you out, whether you know it or not. They're coming to your personal profile, seeing if they want to work with you, if they want to buy from you, if they want to connect with you. So make sure you put time into making sure that that's, you know, looking correct. So just a couple of little pointers here. Have a smiling face. And, you know, we've been working with some local business owners, and it's interesting how many people actually have a photo of themselves that's quite far away. So it's actually their whole body, or their face isn't clear. So make sure that you've got a smiling face and it's just the top part of your body, because you want people to be able to see your face and connect with you when you're chatting with them in Messenger, when you're connecting with you. You know, that's really, really important. And then obviously your cover photo can tell more of your story. Sometimes people put a little bit of, you know, of what they do in their cover photo, and that's, you know, okay too. I haven't done that, but because I'm kind of wanting to keep it still personal, but, you know, definitely you can put something in there about what you do. Now, this is where you know, in this bio, this is like when people come to your profile, they're going to decide within 7 seconds if they like you, if they want to kind of connect with you. And that's why you don't have a lot of time. So make sure that what you say is really important there. Now, you know, what I do is I'm talking about what I'm not talking about all of my achievements and this and that and the other. I'm talking about what I want to help people. And I've actually changed that a little bit since then, but it's about helping raise people, women, and because I'm in particular, I'm, you know, focused on helping women to be all they're destined to be: purpose, freedom, wealth, and vibrant health. Now, again, use an emoji, and I'll talk to you. You're going to get something free today with why we use emojis. But one emoji, please don't do 50,000. I've seen, you know, 50,000 emojis, and that doesn't really look, you know, very professional. So a few little tips there to make sure as soon as you're coming on that people, you know, are wanting to connect with you. So why build your personal profile as well? So the algorithm, so if you're just building a page, the algorithms, people just won't see your stuff. So it's really important to use your personal profile. Obviously, you can network with your target market, congruency. So when people meet you offline, you know, they're not coming online and then you're, you know, going off and having all negativity and all of that. They see that you're a real person. And then obviously you can share from your page to your timeline and your story. You can tag yourself from your page as well. And you can have followers and friends. So you really can have unlimited followers on your profile. And I'll just move that. And it's a perfect place to build that know, like, and trust factor, which is the all-important when we're dealing with people, and if they're wanting them to buy from us or join our team, we have to be able to build that know, like, and trust factor, and it does take time. So, it's just another factor where we can do that. Remember, the brands, their emotion. So the brand that you present on your personal profile, on your page, it's all about the way that it makes people feel. So if you make people feel good, if you uplift people, if you inspire people, it's all about the emotion that that's going to produce in people. And so, think about that, are you inspiring? Are you lifting people up? And it doesn't always have to be about all rosy. You can inspire them through a story which does have the struggle, but then has the victory. Don't be putting all your struggles on Facebook. Let's wait till we kind of get through to the victory. But we always have little victories, and know that, you always are having those little victories in your life. And so, inspire people with that. So this is, a fun little thing. So the emojis that you use will tell you everything. And this is from Ty Tran. He's a millennial branding expert, and in his TED Talk asked the audience, if you were to define your brand in 7 emojis, what would they be? And you can usually find them in your most frequently used. So I'm not sure, if you're on your phone, you could probably put some emojis in. I'm not sure if you're able to put emojis. If you're on your phone, just put some emojis in the chat, or say one of the emojis that you often use. Just pop that in the chat. What's one of your frequent emojis that you use on your phone? Let's see. Oh, you can. Awesome. Rachel, I can see that kind of crazy face. Hearts. Awesome. James is crying. It's a rise. Catherine, yep, awesome. Unicorn, love heart, purple love heart. So Sue likes purple. All sorts of emotions there from Toya. That's great. So, and I'll talk a little bit about emojis later, but, emojis are a really powerful way to connect with your audience. And so you'll have a look at your most frequent ones, and they're probably going to reflect a bit of your personal brand and what's an important thing to you. Have a little bit of fun with that, and use them in your posts and things. Remember, people buy from you, so they buy you, they're not buying Manatech, they're not buying a business opportunity, they're actually buying you and connecting to you. So, people are going to do business with people they know, like, and trust, and so they're buying you, and so that's where you need to kind of, come out in your best self, like I said, know, like, trust, and also value. So are you bringing value to people's lives? Now, we want to be our authentic self, but I want to encourage you also to be your aspirational self. So that person that you aspire to be. And that's still authentic. Don't think that that's not authentic, because you as long as you're working on becoming that person and that person that you aspire to be, that you're working on it, which you are. You're on this webinar right now. I know that many of you are reading books, you're listening to podcasts, you're attending events, which I highly encourage to do that. Reading books, listening to podcasts daily, attending any event that Manatech has on. These Saturday morning calls are amazing. Thank you so much, Sharon and Diana and Gary, for doing this. It's such an amazing thing. But make sure that you're presenting that. You might not quite be there yet, but that's the aspirational self that you are, and that's okay. You're still real. You still have that in your heart, and I want to encourage you to actually envision yourself even daily as that person. And the more that you operate from that place, the more that you will, achieve those dreams that are in your heart. When you operate from the lack place, that you look at all of your faults, all of the negativity, or when you operate from that, you'll stay stuck. But when you think about and envision that person that you see, that's when you will take those steps of faith. You will get out of your comfort zone and be that person, because you already see yourself as that person. So these are just a couple of questions. You might want to take a photo of that can, I know we've done branding before, so you can go back. There's a longer webinar on that, but for those that are new, just take a photo of that. I'll have a drink. Who loves this drink? Seriously. I've actually got 4 scoops of Manipol because I woke up with a bit of a headache this morning. 4 scoops of Manipol in there. It's gone. I love it. And don't be afraid to be unique or different. Everybody's unique. Everybody's got something that's a little bit different. And I hope, Aaron, this is okay, but I want to, Aaron is on today's webinar, and I hope this is okay to share. I know you're getting more comfortable. Let me just check if that's okay, what I share. Aaron, he does stutter, and so, for a while he was kind of afraid to kind of do the live, but he stepped out in faith and he started to do that, and I'm just so proud of him for doing that, for getting up. He stood up in front of people, he shared his story, and that's okay. People are going to connect with you. You don't have to be perfect. Actually, the more perfect you are, the more they're actually not going to connect with you. And so, and I struggle a little bit with that, because I've got to be, I get tongue-tied all the time. And that was a real problem for me, because I always thought, no, I can't speak. I can't, and the first time I was asked to talk on a webinar, well, I went into panic mode. But just understand that that's what actually people are going to connect with. That's what they're going to like about you, that you're not the perfect person, that there's something a little bit different about you and unique. And be okay with self-promotion. Doing those selfies, be okay with that. That's, like I said, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So they kind of got to get to know you through the photos, and that's the thing with Facebook is being okay. It's not all about you, but it's about connecting with your audience and being able to tell that story, but also invite them into the story. And like James said, be the guide. Let them see themselves through your post, and invest in yourself. Adding value. So again, remember that's that person that adds value to their audience. It helps them solve their problems, and being consistent. So being consistent on Facebook and being consistent offline as well, connecting the two of them. And these are just some ideas that you can do on Facebook. We do have more ideas and strategies on the personal profile. We have a personal profile course. I'll let James talk about that in a little bit. And okay, so these I'll just go through this really quickly, but we do have a free cheat sheet on this that we'll give anybody who's on this call. You can go to James Hannan's page, which is Rise Social Media. You'll get all this in a free cheat sheet. So don't think you've got to kind of have it. It will all be available. But emoticons are really, really important in your posts, in your headlines, what you're doing on Facebook. And then different emoticons are going to get different interaction rates. So remember that. A few of these, I know we're kind of rushing for time, but like I said, we'll go through more of this. You'll actually get this as a free handout. So I've got to quickly go through. So remember, posts with 80 characters or less. Make sure you're using different things to get interaction with your audience. And then, yeah, different wording that you can use. So again, you'll get that. So it used to be 5 times that people needed to see you. Now it's like 20 times that people need to see something before they actually, you know, buy from you. So it's really important to make sure that, you know, you're not spamming, but you're giving value, and people are seeing that coming up from you. So remember, still, we want to keep that 80%, you know, value, real life, and then you can do a few little posts in there. So let's quickly go on to stories as a way. And I know James has to head off now. So that he's actually put the page in there. If you go to that page, you can click, just type in Manatech, and we'll make sure that we get these resources for you guys as well.
So, Names, what I might do is let me just explain a couple of little things for people, and then you can finish off if that's okay. Sorry, guys, I've just got to go into to do this presentation. But what we've done is we're rolling out social media training events all around Australasia. We've just done Coffs Harbour. We've got one in Horsham coming up, and then one in Newcastle, and that's pretty much going to finish out the year, and then we'll have them all over Australia next year. But what we want to do is our vision is one of the big parts of our vision is we want to help everyone win. Okay, we want to help you rise to the level that you want to be, and so we've got a giveaway, a cheat sheet to help you with your emoticons. Remember, emoticons used sparingly; they're like lipstick. Okay, you just put a little bit on. All right, so that's a way of thinking about it. Don't put like a million emoticons. And so go to that link I just sent you and send us a message. Don't put something on the timeline. Just click on send message and type the word Manatech, just one word, Manatech. Okay, and that will automatically shoot out to you the cheat sheet that we've got for you. Now, so go ahead and do that. And what I'll also do is I'll send you an invitation to a group that we've set up where you can come and be a part of a group to learn social media. Naomi and I are going to be doing live webinars in there on a weekly basis, interviewing people, getting some of our friends from around the world who are experts in different areas, talking about health and nutrition and all of that sort of stuff. Well done, Bronwyn. Bronwyn's already gone and done it. So go ahead and do that before the end of this presentation or at the end, and you'll get that and we'll send it straight out to you. But, you know, but in these things, I want to do a really massive shout out to all of the team out there that have been using this, you know, to really build their businesses. Like Naomi's going to tell you about a couple of her team members shortly who are using stories and using the live videos. And they've got massive results. But then, you know, people like Gayleen and Bronwyn and Daryl and Janelle and their whole team as well. People just gone now, it's called executive director now, in spaces of months. You know, things are changing rapidly and results are rapidly happening. Now, remember, these people are working hard. Like, I got a message from Kelly this morning. She goes, I'm exhausted, so just give me a couple of days and then I'm at it again, you know. And they're not sitting back just putting up a story and waiting for the orders to come through. That's not what's happening here, folks, or doing a live video. They're aggressively building their businesses with all of the energy they have, but they are putting the foundation around it and putting the walls up and putting the structure in place, or putting the structure in place to allow them to attract the people by adding new friends every day, by going out to the people that they know every day. And remember, don't just press get started, type in the word Manatech as well. So that's a massive shout out. I just want to, and I know Naomi's going to talk about her team there, and I really want her to do that because, guys, these people are incredible. They're taking this training and going, you know what, this is here to support my activities. It will validate my activities. It'll validate your activities. If you do it all together, it validates everything you say. If you're not doing it, you get no validation. And maybe, Naomi, you can talk a little bit about how the online validates your offline and your offline validates your online, and the congruency of that and how important it is for it to happen. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to miss out and you're not going to get the results that you need. You know, so okay. If you just go and do it, guys, it will tell me I'll see everyone's names coming through. If it doesn't come automatically, I will fix it after I've done my presentation today. I've seen everyone's come through, so just go ahead and do that. It segments it all, so it fixes it, everything, so don't worry about that. But my friend, Naomi, you are amazing. Thank you for doing this webinar. Sharon, Sue, Diana, Gary, thank you for putting this on. I'm going to go in and do this presentation, see how we go. Wish me luck, everyone. But remember, your online validates your offline validates your online, but you have to go into massive action, just like Gayleen, just like Kelly, just like, Julie and Bron and Daryl and Janelle. You've got to go into, massive action. So, Naomi, this is a beautiful presentation. For those of you, we're giving you a very, very abbreviated presentation today. You're seeing little bits, little snippets, and hearing parts of what we cover in our 2-hour seminar. If you can get to any of them, highly recommend getting to them. Even if you've got to travel, like I've traveled 11.5 hours to come down and do a presentation in Bateman's Bay. Okay, do what you need to do to build your business, and come and learn, and you'll be blown away. So Naomi, I'm going to hand it back to you. You're amazing. You know, I think you're amazing. You know, and so thank you again, and thank you everybody. Bye for now, guys.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll just go through a couple of areas because I know I've highlighted different things in other webinars, but I wanted to kind of highlight here some things for you and kind of give you a few little strategies. And yeah, then I'll share a couple of things. So this is the story. So Facebook stories, you know, you'll see them at the top of your timeline. So just click, have you seen it? Say yes in the chat if you've seen it. You know, raise your hand, let me know, have you seen the Facebook stories before? Yep. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why you want to be using Facebook stories in your marketing. So really easy to add to a story. You just click there, add to story. And you can also do them on pages as well, you know, and have fun with it. Kind of, they're there to kind of tell a little bit of a story. So, you know, if you can see this is when we were heading down to Bendigo and Horsham. Sorry, we didn't go to Horsham that time. We just went to Bendigo, you know, and I've kind of told the story of the day. You know, I wouldn't put too much kind of random stuff. Obviously, you want to, it's a place that people can get to know you a little bit, but actually think about stories, you know, that are going to, you know, tell a little bit of a process. So you can see these are stories from pages. The great thing about stories on pages is you can actually, you know, when you upload it, you can actually do a link that can go to a website. So that's quite good for us if we're kind of doing a story about, say, Impact Plus. Doing a story, then at the end we can actually link it to go and purchase through our Manatech website. So, you know, that's a great thing about a story from a page. You can't actually do that on your profile, but there are strategies that you can use around that to do that. So why do we use stories for business? So now, again, you want to take note of what Facebook is promoting more of. And so here is Mark Zuckerberg says, we expect stories are on track to overtake posts and feeds as the most common way people share across all social apps. That's because stories is a better format for social, multiple quick video clips throughout your day. Okay, so they are tending more to stories. So Facebook is going to be showing more stories. Not many people are doing it yet. So, you know, it's a great place that you can kind of get in there and start to use stories to, you know, connect with people and build that know, like, and trust factor and tell the story of a product as well. Now, you always go back to your upline, but I personally do not train on telling the name of the product because you want to create an interest. If you tell the name of the product, it doesn't create any interest. They'll just go and Google it and decide what they want. If you kind of do a process and create interest, and people are like, what is this product? Tell me more. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to ask you, what is that? Tell me more. They're going to want that information from you. Now, organic reach in your newsfeed, because it's just getting overloaded, is declining, but stories is interesting, is increasing. So if you have a look at here, Facebook organic reach, this is particularly for pages, but also in your profile. So that's why what we train on, to make sure you're not just doing posts that are about product, that you're doing posts that encourage interaction as well. So Facebook organic reach declining. I'll just think declining's on the brain, I think. But stories, have a look at this. So the date on this is May 2018. So 150 million daily active users. Now, I've lost the next one. Somewhere it's probably going to come up somewhere else in the thing. So, but it's actually doubled, I think it was, in April 2019. Doubled, or even 500 million. It's very, very high. I think it was 500. So it is, people are kind of taking notice. And I don't know about you, but I didn't really take notice much, even up to 6 months ago. I wasn't really taking notice. But now I'm starting to see, okay, people are using this to tell more of their story for business and for products. And so it's actually a great place to do that. And we do, with our programs, we do have a cheat sheet as well, and I'm putting together a Facebook story program. I'll be recording it this week. It will be ready probably next week, the week after, a program on stories and really taking you through how to do it and different apps that you can use for that. The other thing that's really big is video marketing, but in particular, so video marketing is very big, but it can, to produce videos, I mean, you can do it. It takes a lot of time. You can get someone to do it, but then, there's money involved. You can do it yourself, but lives are a perfect way to be building out your business. Now, I'll tell you a little bit of story, and you've probably heard me, James, talking about Kelly. And Kelly, who's on today, hi Kelly, she's amazing, and I'm going to congratulate her. She's just gone executive director in 2 months. She's just started to build her business 2 months, but particularly this month. And Kelly actually came on board initially because of the lives I was doing. So she was connecting in with the lives that I was doing on in the groups, on my personal profile, on my page. So she was connecting in with the lives and getting to know me more. And then she came on board and, she'd done a little bit on lives previously, but she started to do live. She's also got another business, which is a counselling business. So she started to do lives on her personal profile and just following the training that we've done. And her business has completely exploded. And she pretty much, every time she does a live, she gets a customer or an associate or, they're connecting in with her. And then obviously they're connecting in with what she's doing online to what she does offline, because she's also a trainer offline. So, but the amazing thing, so you can say, oh, well, that's all right for her. That's one person. But she's brought on people this month. So for less than 4 weeks ago, a lady by the name of Julie came on board, and she was like, I'm not building a business. I'm not doing any of this. But Kelly kind of did a bit of a live challenge with them. And Julie started to, even though she was really nervous about it and didn't want to do it at first, she started to do those lives, took up that challenge, and she's just gone director. So it's, you know, let's all give them a congratulations for that. So in less than 4 weeks, she's gone director, and Kelly's gone executive in 2 months. And then also another person in Kelly's team who she got doing lives, she's been in the business, I think, 2 weeks, is Candice, and I think she's gone silver associate, but working very close to gold associate too. So this does work, guys. I mean, it might be a bit scary at first. And I do want to give you a little bit of a strategy around that. If you're a bit nervous about doing lives, you can actually change the settings so that only you can see it. So you can practice around with it a bit, because it is a bit confronting. I know when I first was going on, and you know, I used to have to go, just press that button, just press that button. Everybody's scared at first. There isn't anyone that's not scared at first, but start off just by, you know, you can change it from, you know, if your friend's seeing it to only you. Then that way that, you know, you feel a little bit more confident in doing that. Oh, here it is, 500 million me. It got moved down, so that's just on the stories. So let's have a quick look at the live video statistics and why it's really kind of important for your business in doing that. So 87% of businesses now use video marketing, so they're really seeing that this is the way of the future. 96% of people say they've watched a video, watched and explain a video to learn more about a product or service, you know, for buying something. Videos on social media generate 1,200 more shares than text and images. That's a lot, you know, that's a lot. But the Facebook Live video view count climbed 2 billion viewers last year. So more and more people are you know, tuning into live videos, and they're getting used to that. I'll just go down here a little bit. Facebook Live videos produce 6 times as many interactions as traditional videos. So you're getting, you know, people are interacting more on live videos, and you know, you being able to do that really works really well. They get 10 times more comments and shares than regular videos. And then Facebook Live users watch Facebook Live videos 3 times longer than pre-uploaded videos. So again, you're getting people to watch your video longer. The reason is they're interested. If you're kind of telling a little bit of a story sometimes, or giving some valuable information on those lives, people are very interested, so it keeps their interest a lot longer. And then, this is the cheat sheet, so make sure, you know, you go to the Facebook page to get your cheat sheet. We'll also be giving you some information if you wanted to know more about the other programs that we've got on live videos, on the stories, on personal profiles, and the pages training will be coming out soon too. So if anyone, I've got a little bit of time, a question if you've got anything, otherwise we can leave it from there.
There's a question about the difference between a profile and a page, Naomi.
Okay, so your Facebook profile is your personal profile, and sometimes people get confused about it. So you've got your personal profile, and a page is like a public page. It's open to the public. So that is where, you know, it's more, if you're going to build a page, expect that you'll have to spend some money to build it up. You know, there are definitely ways that you can build it organically, but the way Facebook works, they want you to pay money. So it can be a long process to build that up, but it's amazing what you can do on your personal profile as well. No, a Facebook Live is actually live, so it's not a video. You can kind of do a video, but a Facebook Live is actually, so if I was doing a Facebook Live now, it'd be live of this. It's different to actually uploading a video to your profile. Videos work, but lives are better because you're going to get that interaction. People kind of like that interaction. They like, connecting with people. Yes, we are. Yep. So the certain facets are ready now for the training program. So we've got our personal profile, we've got the live training, the story training will be finished this week, and the pages training will be a couple of weeks, and then we've got groups training a little bit down the track.
And there's another question, Naomi, there about why or why not to use your last name on your profile in Facebook.
So it's really up to you. You know, I would be using your last name. I don't for particular reasons, personal reasons, but I would use your last name because again, it's your brand. Although I've made Naomi Joy my brand now, but you can, you know, I would be using your last name.
And any frequency around how often you should do a live, Naomi? And the length of time it should be?
Okay, so, and that's a great question. So the length of time, let's just go there. The length of time, I wouldn't do it more than 5 to 7 minutes. People are in a rush, and if you're kind of dragging on, in saying that, if you've got a good following and you're giving lots of value, you can go longer, but you'll find that with your audience. If you're starting out, I wouldn't go too long. You can definitely build up and see, you know, where people kind of, your particular audience or their interest levels kind of peter off. But generally, if you're starting off, it's only 5 to 7 minutes. So it's not a big thing. In terms of your frequency, you know, and that again is definitely up to you. You know, I haven't been as frequent because I've just had a lot going on recently, but you know, if you can get on there a few times a week, you know, that's a great place to go. Like if you know, 3 times a week, you know, that if you can do that, you're going to keep that interaction happening. And again, people are seeing things. So if you do have a Facebook group and you've got a page and things like that, you can be doing something in your group. I tend to do quite a bit in my group, you know, with my lives, because I've got quite a few groups. So I tend to do more there, which I need to get back on my profile a little bit more too. But I've got lots going on. So, yeah, so that's the thing. Told not to put your birth date. Yeah, don't put your date, the date you were born. You can put your, you know, for me it's August 21st, but you can hide you hide your birth date to just you seeing it. So only you can see your birth date, and that's the best way to go. Anything else?
It looks like that's the end in there. And Naomi, how usually if there's materials offered, I usually put the link when I upload the video. So if people go to your Rise social media page, so it'll have a picture of James Hannan on it. So just because there's more than one, and click via Messenger. The other trainings you're talking about, are you rolling that out for Australia or?
Yes. Yeah, so there will be some online training as well as the workshops, but the online training will be available soon.
Okay, and how will you let them know, or how would you like them to inquire?
So if they go to the page, if they go to that page, just type in Manatech. They'll get the cheat sheet, but then they can also just say they're interested in the program. So yes, yeah, New Zealand can link into that too, and we'll also have the group. So if you get into the group, like we'll have, you know, different interviews and things like that. So yeah, that will be a great place too.
There's one final question: suggestions on how to create content. Great question.
Yeah, so creating content, you know, it's always about, okay, who's your target market and what kind of problems are they having? And so I don't know anyone that doesn't have problem with energy, so that's always a good one. But creating content is, you can go to Google and get some content from there. So if you're, your lives and things like that, if you're wanting to do it on a particular subject, then you can go to Google to get some information. Like I said, you can, we do have our live training, which we'll have a little bit more on that in the personal profile. But yeah, it's also, think about the books that you read. Think about this webinar. Why don't you get off and say a few things that you learn on this webinar? The books you're reading, the podcast. So listen to a podcast and then share some information from that podcast. If you go to any events, get that information and share from that. People are very interested. So you might think, I don't know anything, or I'm not specialised. That's okay. Just whatever you've learned, you can share from a book, from anywhere. So you guys, you know a lot. We get so much on health in our business. And the things that we attend, you come on next week to Dr. Nugent's. He's going to tell you a lot of information. Now, obviously, you're not going to share that information like, sport and bounce back, but what you're going to do is share some of the things that he says, and then through that you can, link it to, if you'd like to know more about the product that I use, send me a message. Okay, so you're not kind of going on about the product, but if you'd like to know more about the product I use to help with inflammation, send me a message. Now, I still think we can still use the word inflammation in Australia, but yeah. So.
Yes, Irene.
Share on your profile. Yep, your personal profile. Yep.
So Naomi, I know you guys are swamped and busy. We could probably be here for 2 hours asking questions. So, but thank you very much for all the value that you and James are adding to the Australasian Manatech community and the globe probably. But in particular, that we're concerned about Australasia here, and we're very grateful. Thank you so very much.
We want to see we want to see everybody succeeding. The more everybody does, and we lift up, we can make Australasia amazing again and leading the world, which is what I want. I want Australasia leading the world again.
Well done, Naomi. Thank you, everyone. As we said, next week is Dr. Nugent on sport and bounce back. And thanks for supporting our calls. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend, everyone.